crazy water life. Hair life, I've been with midnight through the city. I've been going through some things, trying to get my mind right. Push the bucket to the lip, push that mission to the finish. Gotta get the full control, gotta get my mind right. Hair life, I've been with midnight through the city. I've been going through some things, trying to get my mind right. Push the bucket to the lip, push that mission to the finish. Gotta get the full control, gotta get my mind right. Yeah, flashing on these high beams, she won't step beside me, even if I'm blinded.
1 second. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy DMV. And I wanted to make sure that I touched on the press conference that happened not too long ago. I wanted to make sure that I took some notes, that we talked about some of the main areas that they touched on today. And if there's some things that I missed, we got people out there who was tuned in. And I can tell you, on the Dallas Cowboys, I actually on YouTube, man, there was over 1,500 people tuned in to the Dallas Cowboys official account to really watch it. So we know that the YouTube audience is there. We know that a lot of people are invested in this team. And man, it was a spectacle of a show, man. But what I really want to do right now is say hello to everybody that is out there who are tuned in. And as you guys know, YouTube, I can see pretty much all of those comments. If you are watching on Twitter, if you want to leave comments and stuff like that, flip over to YouTube and leave the comments that way. Also, man, hit that like button. Let people know that we're here. We're here to talk football. We're here to talk about the Cowboys, and a lot of it was not football today. But I want to shout out, Darnell Lamar in the comments. Got Elijah Robinson. They were able to come in, say hello, and that's kind of how I look at it, man. If you're here, you might as well say hello. That way, I can say hello back, and then we can kind of get into this thing. We can kind of get into the show. I promise I'm not going to hold everybody too long. What's going on, Deano? What's going on? How you doing? Not going to hold everybody too long. If you go to church, especially if you go to a black church, you know that they always say that. I ain't going to hold everybody too long. So I promise I'm going to try not to hold everybody too long. What's up, D-Lunatic? What's going on? How you doing? So they started it out, man. And let me tell you, the media, what's up, Ken Wright? The media was on the front office's ass today. They were on the front office. They were, trust me, it seemed like the first 20 to 25 minutes was a lot of contract talk. And I tried to give a recap as much as I could when I was on Twitter. And I knew I was going to come here and talk about some of the things that I felt was important, some of my important takeaways from this. And man, let me tell you, I thought the media did an excellent job today. And I know that there was one particular person that commented on something that I was saying. And, we was a little upset that the questions that are going to be taken from this, from what our media was asking, it's going to be headlines on ESPN, and, we're not talking about football and stuff like that. And my takeaway from that is, when you do business the way that they do business, and we're going to kind of touch on that here, when you do business the way that they do business, you leave those areas open. So it's the media's job to get people to pay attention. Sorry about that, guys. To get people to pay attention to their articles, to their podcast. It's their job to talk about the low-hanging fruit. People like myself, people like, typically the people that the content creators that I talk to, people that really, really love football, we hate this low-hanging fruit stuff. And the reason that it has to be asked is it's out there. Like, for example, Karlaftis signed with the Chiefs today, and nobody even knew that they were even negotiating. Now, it's like, well, the Chiefs aren't the Cowboys, but the Chiefs were just in the Super Bowl. The Chiefs have been in the Super Bowl how many years in a row or around that time? And, they keep winning. So it's just like, how do they keep those things under wrap? And it's like, when you look at how things are constructed, Kansas City, their currency is winning. Like they're going to reward their fan base with trying to, attack this window that they have with Patrick Mahomes and trying to win as many championships as possible. Because once they start losing, once Patrick Mahomes retires, and you never know if you're going to be able to get back to this area, they know that they are trying to win at all costs. I know that Philadelphia feels that way as well. And so, unfortunately, in Dallas, the way that we do business, we wait to the last minute with our stars in some cases, because they made it a point to say they signed some guys early and, and it ain't working out the way that they wanted to work out. So, I mean, I just think it comes with the territory. And when we leave areas open for discussion, people got to ask the questions. I used to hate it too. I used to hate it until I realized that, this is something that happens every year. I think I tweeted this. I said, every year it's somebody that they open it up with somebody's contract talks. You know what I'm saying? Every year it's somebody's contract that we're discussing. Every year it's the same old, same old. You know what I'm saying? Last year, it might have been Zach Martin. The year before that, it was Dak. It's every year. It was Dak and CD last year. So it's like the same questions. It's almost like, I bet you Clarence, I bet you Pop probably, if he looks at his questions from last year that he had written down, the things at this time to open it, I bet you it looks similar to last year, and then the year before that, and the year before that. I just brought Pop out because he has some good questions early on, and we know that he has the seniority when it comes to asking those questions. I bet you a lot of those reporters, when they look back in their notebooks from the year prior, and I bet that the questions line up about the same. I bet they do. What's up, Keystone? What's going on, man? So let's talk about the key areas. And like I said, I didn't say it, but super chats, any super chats, they take priority no matter what I'm doing. I'm going to read the super chat. I'm going to answer the question. And if there are really good comments, I'm going to bring them up on the screen, like Keystone, where we talked about the same goofy stuff. So, my first thing was, I think somebody asked a question about Micah. What up, CFT? My dog in the building. What's up? What's up? What's up? I know we're gonna talk about this later. I mean, we were talking in the group chat earlier, and bro, I think you called it. You said ain't nothing gonna happen, but Jerry just gonna say some stuff to piss everybody off. And I mean, if I'm being honest, there was a good part of this that I tuned Jerry out, because Jerry was talking too much. Jerry was doing too much talking today. Was too much Jerry, not enough Shotty, in my opinion. Y'all let me know in the comments if y'all feel the same way. Pretty sure y'all feel the same way, but it was too much Jerry for me. Like, too much. I mean, it was to a point where I'm just like, dog, let Steven talk. I'd rather hear this contract talk from Steven. I'm not trying to hear about your folklore, bro. I'm not trying to hear about all that stuff. Not trying to hear it, bro. Like, we trying to figure out what we gonna do now. Not trying to figure out how you had to dig back in history and hear about your Netflix series that's coming up. I'm not trying to hear it, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But Jerry made it a point that everyone at Oxnard is under contract, so they expect people to practice. So that was Micah Parsons. And there was a couple times that Micah Parsons' name was brought up. Just because we signed him don't mean he gonna be here. Hey, bro, I don't even know what that means. I don't even know how to begin that. You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, Jerry made it a point to take an open shot at Diggs. And I thought it was unnecessary. I thought it was, personally. If I think things like that you handle in house. I think he made it a point to make it a talking point, and I would not be surprised if they're looking to move Diggs. There might be some other teams that might be interested, but I think that this relationship, I don't know that you can repair it. And I know that Jerry kept bringing up Emmett, tried to bring up Zach Martin, but the way that he brought those guys up, there was so much respect with their name, especially Zach Martin, in my opinion. And Zach Martin. Now, let me make this clear. Trayvon's situation wasn't a contract holdout. It was a situation where he felt probably more comfortable working his rehab in South Florida opposed to coming to Dallas. And he was contractually, most of his workouts needed to be in Dallas. So they made it a point, I think, to try and I think because they were paying him all the money that they're paying him, and I'm paraphrasing what Jerry's talking about. I think that they're trying to set a precedent for people to not rehab anywhere else. And it was almost like they that they made Trayvon the bad guy with that situation. They made it seem like he's not working because he's not working here and not doing the things that they want. And they had every right. So let me start by saying this. They have every right to whatever in that contract. They have every right to do that. Trayvon also, if he knows the situation, and this is where I thought Steven's comments coming in and saying that Trayvon knew what it was, and this is what he decided to do. I think that's the only thing to me that should have been said. I think Steven handled it perfectly. I think Jerry, I think in the way that Jerry was talking about it, I think it made him look like an asshole. I don't know how else to say it, but it made him look that way simply because, I mean, that's something that could have been kept in house. I mean, if nobody ever asked his front office anything like that, nobody would know that Trayvon wasn't in the building by design or whatnot. Like, they made it a point. They made it a point to let everybody know that. And for me, I kind of feel like you don't really got to do that. Just don't pay him the money. You know what I'm saying? And if the lunatic said he shot me a cash app, appreciate you, boss. Appreciate you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. I kind of feel like those type of things, we don't hear him anywhere else. Like I said, I brought up Carl Laftis. They were negotiating the deal. It got done. Again, I don't know what else to say. But the front office was very, very contract talks, like I said, went on for about 20, 25 minutes. And they were very defensive about how they handle business. Now, I didn't really get so much of them being defensive from Steven because I actually kind of I might not like the answers that Steven gives us, but Steven will give you a straightforward answer, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to drag it on. He's going to try and explain what the stance is, what it is, and you know what they look forward to happening. Jerry, I feel like he has this ability, right? And I tweeted this. I think Floyd Mayweather kind of figured out the formula as a boxer. You guys know I'm a big boxing fan. And it's like, if I can get just as many people to hate me, but those people that hate me to watch, I figured out the formula on how to make money. And I think that that's what Jerry does with these press conferences and stuff this time. Like, nobody by any stretch of imagination would call Jerry a dummy. Nobody would call him a dummy. Also, I think somebody else said this, but yeah, RRP to bro, man. RRP to Theo Huxtable. RRP, man. Nobody by any stretch of imagination would call Jerry a dummy. You don't get the franchise to the level of making the type of money, getting the type of attention. Nobody, like, he's special in that right. He's a rare person in this world. With that being said, that don't win football games. It only lines the pockets. And it's like, when you can get the people to hate you as much as they love you, everybody paying the same amount. And that's what he's figured out here. That's what he's figured out here. And it wasn't until really listening to that today. Now, we've been talking about it like money's more important, money's more important, money's more important. But in listening to it today, I thought that he took unnecessary shots at Micah. unnecessary shots at Diggs. I thought that he took unnecessary shots at Emmett personally. Kept bringing Emmett's contract situation up. Hell, we bringing Emmett up for? And I told y'all this once before. People who tune in to the stuff that I say, I really think that Emmett beating them over the head in negotiations and proving them. I really feel like they fell away about that. I really do. And he can say all he wants about the Netflix. I just watched the Netflix series, and so that's why I keep bringing it up. But I mean, that's why the line was built the way that it was built this year, and why they ain't care about running back like that. I really feel like they believe that it was them and not Emmett. And I think that it's been Jerry's life work to kind of prove that it's me building this wall. What up? Hey, what up, J Tuck? What up, my guy? Salute to you. Salute. All right, so the lunatic, because you sent me a super chat. I mean, you sent me Cash App. DMV, what team running stats per game you looking for with Shotty this year? That I'm looking for, particularly, I would like to rush for at least 150 a game. At least. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the best teams, they rush for over 200 a game, I think, something like that. I like to be over the 150 mark. Personally, I think that that's a good formula for us. Dak around 250 passing, us rushing for about 150. I think that, and if we're talking about yards per carry, probably around, I think typically about 4.2 to 4.5 is ideal. So though that's where I'm looking. That's what I would like. I don't know if we're gonna do that, but that's about the area that I would like. I would like us to stick with the run a little bit more as far as adjusting on the fly as well. So I think that, hopefully that answered the question. But yeah, it was crazy. And I want to bring this part up because the Wi-Fi kept skipping throughout. So I probably missed a lot. And I know that y'all did too. And I was thinking to myself, and y'all probably gonna laugh when, if the training staff anything like this damn Wi-Fi was out there, you spend all this money on everything else, but if that training staff that you say that you feel a way about putting everything together and you sacrifice all this stuff, if that training staff that you put together that be getting these bad grades and all this type of stuff, anything like that Wi-Fi was, I'd have took my ass to South Florida too. Hey, I don't blame Trey. Y'all be janky out here. Like this expensive ass, janky ass organization, bro. Like, look, I had to bring that up. I thought that was funny, man. I thought that was funny. Somebody said Micah sign. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe because of the title of this. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments if it happened or not. But yeah, I thought that front office was pretty defensive about things, and I think that the media did a good job putting them on the back foot. And we'll see what happens, though. We'll see if some deals get done. But yeah, I mean, it was the same old with those guys. But I thought that Shotty, again, Shotty talks well. Shotty does a good job with the fan base and being direct and also being able to answer in a certain way. Like as a football person that loves football, that pays attention to coaches and how they talk, how they answer interviews, and not giving away too much, but also answering the question direct and actually listening to whoever's answering the question. I mean, whoever's asking the question. I think Shotty does a very good job. And so my key takeaways is not too much because we didn't hear a lot from Shotty, but the times that we did, you know how they say that candidates look presidential. I thought that today, I thought he looked like a head coach. I thought that he didn't look like he didn't take the playful type of tone that he typically has. I thought that he was ready to go. I thought he looked fired up, ready to go, ready to coach some football. And I appreciate that. I can appreciate that. And Jerry made it known that he knows he made the right call with this guy. with Shotty, and I can appreciate too. Him trying to, have that chip on his shoulder to win a ring for his father. He talked about that. I thought that was an excellent point. And for me, now as a fan, I understand his why. And that why in itself, I don't think will allow him to be a yes man. Will he be a yes man? I don't know. But to me, I know me personally, if my why is to drop a ring off at my father's headstone, then I don't think that I could personally go into a job and not do it to the best of my abilities. And that means I'm not going to take. That means that I might love everybody around me, but that means I'm not going to take crap off of nobody. That means I'm not going to take crap off of nobody. The things that he talked about from this year to last year is that we need to be better with turnovers. We need to be better with health. And we need to be more consistent in how we approach things and how we execute. Can appreciate that. Come on, give me 1 second, y'all. Make sure that all right, that it's not an emergency. All right, cool. All right. He said that practice this year for this team will make the difference. Will make the difference. And I thought that practices were cool under McCarthy. I did love when they did like the chaos period and stuff like that. But I could just tell in Shotty's tone, like he was ready to practice. He was ready for practice to start right then and there. You know what I'm saying? Like this was just a formality for him to be there. This is just part of the job. This was part of the job, him being at that press conference. But I could tell he would have rather have been out there coaching football. And again, it's been a while since we really had that per se. A guy, a guy that is ready. So DC Boys fan said, "Same crap, different coach." It sounds like. I mean, it feel a little different to me. I would tell you if I thought otherwise. And then he talked about Micah. And lastly, the last point I wanted to talk about with Shotty is that they brought up the question. I think that it was Patrick Nosey that brought up the question of will the running backs get a fair shot this year, and he said that they will. He stated that, so I'm gonna hold his feet to the fire on that. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that he named all of them by name, but specifically, my takeaway was he talked about Lipke, and me and Rome, we talked about this. We talked about it earlier. I think Lipke can do some running back things. He talked about how versatile he was. Rome is like, show me, because the opportunity you got, you fumbled it, literally, right? He keeps bringing up Lipke. I think they're going to give him an opportunity to run this route. I do. And I want to see it. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that the staff, the people that get to ask the questions all of the time, that if he kind of goes away from that to where we don't see Lipke at least get handoffs to see if he can do some running back things for us, because right now there's still a question mark. It's still a question mark, and obviously it's a question mark if you got to name all those guys and we don't know who the lead back is. You know what I'm saying? So if we're at that point, I want to see my guy run the rock. I want to see us hand him the ball. I want to see what it looks like, because I thought in preseason a couple years ago when he got a chance to tote the rock, I thought that he showed some running back things, and I liked seeing him run the ball. I liked how he pressed the line of scrimmage. I liked how he finished runs. I liked the energy that came from him running the football. You know what I'm saying? It was almost like this how a white man run the football. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see more of that. I also, one question, and hopefully there's somebody out there watching that is a media member or is somebody that can, I want somebody to ask the question when it comes for preseason games, if the starters are going to play at least a series or something like that, because that's important to me. It's important with the new offense, with the new regime, with the new energy, supposedly, that We're doing the things that some of these championship teams are doing. Teams that are built for long runs. Because I bet you can't name a team out there right now that is a perennial playoff team that their starters, including their franchise quarterbacks, that they're not getting reps in the preseason, even if it's just one series. I think that that's very important. And I hope that, you know, I'm not saying you got to ask that question tomorrow. I'm not saying that you got to ask that question even at the end of this week. But that's something that definitely needs to be addressed, because I personally think that when we go into week ones, I think we're a little rusty. I think we're a little rusty, and it's always like it seems like week one is our preseason game. We got Philly this year. We got Philly in week one, and I know that their starters are going to play. I know that in week one, now typically Philly, they they get better as the year goes on, but I know that they're going to be calloused for the moment. And by calloused, you mean like, you know what I'm saying? They're going to be ready to go. They're going to be physical. They're going to play fast. It is not going to be an easy game, especially week one, and especially with them getting their rings and stuff like that. It's not going to be easy. So I think that it's important for this team to get started on the right foot, especially under our new coach. So, you know, let's see what some of these comments is talking about. The lunatic says share, like, and sub it up. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Hey, no super chats, cool. You know, if you don't want to come out of pocket, cool. And look, nobody's asking you to. I love being able to kick it with you guys. I think that it's real cool that we get to, you know, do stuff like this. But if you can hit that like button on the YouTube channel, you know, that would help drive the algorithm a little bit. And if you like this conversation, especially, then it'll be more of this. You know what I'm saying? More of this. It'll be more. So appreciate you, the lunatic. Ghostface Gaming says Vegas odds got us going 9-8. If Tuck is out there, bro, you taking the over or under with that, bro? We taking the over or under, or you know what? I know you're gonna have a show. I know you're gonna have a show about it. So you guys make sure that you tune into my guy CFO, and he'll tell you. My guy Rome says hit the like and subscribe. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. So Rome said something to me the other day that was near and dear to my heart, and I just got to share it with you guys. Rome said that, you know, I'm one of those content creators, and this came from him, so it means a lot. That I'm one of the content creators that, you know, can kind of spark interest, that, you know, can say some things that can get everybody talking, and people just kind of go with it, and it drives the narratives. Hopefully today, some of the stuff that I'm saying, that some of the people out there who are watching, who are going to create content off of it, or are going to ask questions regarding it. Sometimes I feel like Jerry be watching sometimes, and I think that I feel like sometimes he be talking to me. Maybe not. You know, maybe that's me being paranoid. I don't know. But, you know, I appreciate that, and I'm just going to continue to put out content for that very reason, so that we can spark interest, because I want to win. I want another championship. I saw a championship as a little kid, and I want to experience that again. So Darnell Lamar said, for my guy, keep striving for more, bro. Appreciate you for the $10 super chat, my dude. Appreciate you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know what I'm saying? We talked on Twitter a little bit today, and you know, again, you know, I do this for the people. It's kind of weird, and this might be why it's not popping as much as the Cowboys is. I do it for the people that love football, that love the content that I put out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not so much worried about the people that hate. At one point, you know, one hateful comment could throw me off, but at this point, I realize that there's so many more people that do respect what I do. There's so many more people that really appreciate some of the things that I bring to the table, and I just want to, you know, let you guys know that I appreciate you. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you guys for watching everything, for commenting, for even bringing up some of the things in your comments that, you know, maybe I missed. I appreciate all of that. The lunatic says, if our O-line have a season like 2016, 10-11 wins, and I like our interior line. I agree. I think we'll get 11. I think we'll get 11. And I again, it's about we'll probably be one and done this year. But it's not so much about being one and done or not getting past the divisional round, but it's about how it happens. That Green Bay loss, we have not been the same since. We've all talked about that. We've all shared that sentiment. We have not been the same since that game. And I think that we've all been shaken up, including the players. So it's about how, when you get to that moment, how you are. Are you prepared? I want to see us be prepared for the moment and get out there and scrap. That's what I want to see. The lunatic asked, if it's Elam, Revel, and Bland, you got Bland in the slot. I don't know because I haven't seen anything from Revel. I haven't seen anything from Elam. So, though, I mean, the media has seen them, the coaches have seen them, but I haven't. So, I mean, with my own eyes, I can't even call that. I can't even call it. You know what I'm saying? So, Drew asked what bombs were dropped. Man, Jerry was throwing shots, man. He was throwing shots at the players a little bit. Threw some light jabs at Micah. Definitely, you know what I'm saying, threw a hook and an uppercut at Trayvon Diggs for sure. You know what I'm saying? I was not expecting that today. I wasn't. I was expecting them to kind of go around it, but yeah, man. Hey, but look, man, I gotta get ready to go, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm out. Peace.